Welcome back. This is the American Dream Business Roundtable with Greg Noe and Kathryn Raaker, and our guest this evening, Anthony Watson, who has invented this or concocted this wonderful product. The first being the bed bug eliminator, and a couple offshoot products from that.
Well, you know, this is the most exciting guest, I mean, seriously, inventor
Oh, yeah.
that we've had actually on the show. And he's the first one, really.
Well, yeah, we've had other service providers.
Yes,
you
but
know, we've had
nobody
other
that-
experts, consultants,
Yeah,
and
right.
like that, but not an actual entrepreneur.
No, and that's important because, you know, here, where our strength is in the United States is our entrepreneurs.
Right,
And
right.
with Shark Tank and all these other wonderful things, you know, it becomes something, it's a need for something that is out there. And you couldn't have hit it at a better time, right?
Right.
And so, do you have this in schools yet?
No, I don't.
Because I think with all the different things that kids are around, and they're all, and moms are always and dads are always looking for that eco-friendly or eco-friendly product because they don't want to put their kids through anything that would cause them an allergy or whatever. And that's what's so important about these
And
products.
by connection, daycares.
Right,
Whereas, you know, any place that there's going to be a lot of germs, there potentially would, well,
Or
it
bed
might be
bugs, or kids.
bed bugs.
That's right.
And I guess I'm sort of partial to healthcare, and I want to make sure kind of everybody in healthcare benefited from it. And so that's kind of where we're mainly marketing right now.
What about hospitals?
Well, you see, hospitals, it's a different niche because for them, because they're if a hospital has a bed bug issue, they're going to hire a huge heat treatment that's going to cost them, you know, $8,000 for a floor, you know. Whereas this is something that is affordable that you can take with you. And
when you
so
go to
you
the
don't have to worry
hospital.
about it. When you go to the hospital,
right.
So that's what it was really formulated for. It wasn't formulated for an industrial sort of thing. It was formulated, as I said, to protect people because that was a need. In fact, we had one agency, nursing agency that did visiting nursing. They said that it changed their nurses' lives because what they were doing is they were going to homes, and when they'd leave those homes, they would go back to their own homes, and they would actually just completely disrobe and before they went into the home.
Put it in a plastic bag.
And put stuff in plastic because they were afraid to bring bed bugs to their families. And they said that when this product was introduced to them, it changed their lives because they didn't have to do that. And so that's kind of where my focus is. And so I guess I don't really think about the other markets, and there are so many of them. And that's what, you know, I realize that so many other people could be helped by this, but again, my focus was on healthcare.
And now with this, you could probably be on Wall Street next. I'm serious.
I heard there's a lot of louses that live on Wall
Oh, let's don't go political. Please. But you know, when you think about it, this has got so many applications. And you know, it always, you know, it's funny because a lot of things started in the space program or in the military and have come out to all of us, which is great when you think about it.
Right.
And keeping your troops safe, and especially reserves. I mean, think about those guys that have to go, which we call them weekend warriors,
That's right?
Those are our front line today.
Absolutely.
Right? And so I'm so excited about the product and about you and what you're doing.
Thank you.
Is there something in the future that you see that you're going to be doing next?
Well, I think there's a whole line of eco-friendly products, and with the ingredients that we're using, you know, they can translate into many other types of things that can help us to, you know, not have to deal with, you know, insects and things like that. So I think there's a lot of things out there that that are on the table as we go forward.
Right.
You know, obviously this is we want to get these two, and then the third product out there.
The flea and tick.
The flea and tick, right.
Right. Well, I'm thinking of one other application because one of our people is with TSA, and they're constantly going, you know, they have to touch bags, they have to touch everything. I can't imagine what it would be like for them. What happens? They may be bringing them home too, right?
Well, that begs a question. Do bed bugs jump? I mean, do they?
Well,
Or do they have to physically, crawl from one piece of clothing or a sheet to another?
let me
explain it.
The bed bug is kind of like it's kind of just a lazy, slow bug. It really is. It's a very intelligent bug. Other than some of the other bugs with exoskeletons, but it's very slow, it's very lazy,
So
it waits for you. It hunts us.
It waits
So
for
it
you
doesn't
to touch
jump
it.
around
Okay.
or anything like that. It kind of waits for you to come. It's got an uncanny sense of smell. It can smell your carbon dioxide in your blood.
yeah.
And so it doesn't need to jump. It doesn't need to jump. It lives for about a year.
Okay.
And the reason why it lives for about a year, because it conserves its energy. It doesn't jump.
Isn't
it doesn't
sucking,
fly.
Isn't it sucking, though, to get your blood to do that?
I'm sorry,
Or
what
not?
was the question?
Does it, when it bites you, does it take any, is it
suck
like
your blood?
does it suck your blood?
It does, but the first thing it does is it gives you an anesthetic. So you actually don't even know you've been bitten unless you're allergic to it, the bite. So many people, 70% of the population never even feel the bite, never even know they've ever been bitten.
But they
unless they're
feel it the
allergic
day
to it.
later, or?
No, only if they're allergic to it.
Yeah.
Only if they're allergic.
One of
Only
my
if they're allergic
relatives
to
is
it.
allergic to it, and it happened to them.
That's why you
And-
see some people in the same house, while they've got welts on them and bites on them, but nobody else does. So the other person thinks they've not been bitten. No, they're biting you. And what they normally do is they bite you in shifts. They'll bite you at 2 a.m. A group of them will bite you one night. The rest of them will bite you the following night. They're
organized.
We should
Very
do
intelligent
a
bug.
actual show with these guys. You know what I mean? Showing it. I mean, seriously. I mean, it's amazing how smart these things
Very
are.
intelligent bug. Well, they live for a year, and they live off the protein of us. So when you think about most carnivorous creatures, eating protein, it increases the neural pathways.
Wow.
And if you look at most insects, they only live for a couple weeks. Well, this thing lives for a year. So it has developed a collective intelligence.
Wow.
That's
I didn't know
unbelievable.
anything.
So we have a very short amount of time right now. So tell me how you're going to help him within a minute. Can you do that?
Well, right now we're in a program to take his products nationally, and so with my team of people, and so we're going to be meeting this week to get the next steps out of the way.
Wow.
And that's what I'm doing to help him. And by the way, I think we're going to be getting in touch with you to let you help us with
That's
that
right. Thank
effort.
you.
That'd be great.
So.
That would be great because
Yeah.
I really love, that's what I do. That's one of the things that I do is I take the market, take the actual product to buyers.
Oh,
And work
okay.
with buyers and do infomercials. I do all kinds of different things with
Okay.
new products, and I love new products.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's pretty exciting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes.
If you saw all the products I get, you wouldn't believe it.
Well,
You
you're gonna
guys
get-
haven't been over to the house yet, so you don't know, but we do. And we get them through our radio programs and all the different things that we do. And it's exciting because I love products.
That's
Well,
great.
and, I would want to mention to our viewers,
Right.
if they think they have an idea for a product, it may not be as developed as this one, may just be in the idea stage.
Right.
They would want to get in touch with either one of us so
Give your
that we
website
can.
out.
Sure, the Edgar Allen Group .com, EDGARALLEN. Group.com. And the point there is that we can help them develop those products, those ideas, get them patents and all those kinds of things
That's
that they
right.
may need.
They need them.
And then put marketing programs together, business
right.
plans if they need venture capital. In my firm now, we've got an attorney and some really, we've got a guy who has a private equity firm and some. So we have a lot of resources, and I know you have quite a few too,
Right.
either internally or through your network of
That's
connections.
right. That's right.
And so
And that's important for entrepreneurs like yourself and
you
inventors.
can't do it alone.
No,
No,
you can't. It's too
no.
hard. It's too
Right,
hard.
right.
And so I think we've run out of time, but I need to know your website and how people can get a hold of you.
Great.
Would you do that for me?
Absolutely. My website is www.acehealthyproducts.com. Phone number is 1-866 891-5338.
And Greg?
Well, the Edgar Allan Group, again, .com. I'm not going to spell it for you. It's at the bottom of the
Right.
legend.
We've actually put that on all
Yeah, I
of
know.
our shows, right?
And I'd like to mention that Anthony's website is going to be revamped here shortly.
Right.
Wow.
So if you don't like the look and feel of it today, come back tomorrow or the next day,
Right.
and it should be revamped.
Right.
And we also want to let our all of our audience know that besides all the different stations that we're on, we're also on YouTube. So if you go up to, you'll be able to see all the wonderful YouTubes that we've done and the shows that we've done. And you know, the nice thing about it is they're so educational as well.
Well, I certainly hope so.
They are.
There's a lot of
They
effort go into these productions.
each one of them,
and
right.
a lot of thought. Yes.
Right. And I want to thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you
And
for
thanks,
having me.
co-hosts. That was
Thank you,
great.
Kathryn.
And we'll see you next time on the American Dream Business Roundtable. Don't forget to watch us on TV as well.
Thank you.